Episode 4 of I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire, titled First Battle, arrives as the series settles into its spring 2025 run after an early release of its first 3 episodes. This isekai sci-fi comedy, adapted from Yoma Mishima's light novel, follows Liam Sarah Banfield, a reincarnated man determined to become a tyrannical overlord, only for his schemes to inadvertently foster peace and admiration. This episode shifts gears to focus on Liam's initial foray into mobile knight combat, blending action with the series' signature irony. I found myself both amused and skeptical as the episode leans heavily on its premise but struggles to elevate it beyond familiar tropes. Does it deliver the punch needed to keep this galactic misadventure compelling? In First Battle, Liam, under the tutelage of his dubious mentor Yasushi, trains with an outdated mobile knight inherited from his great-grandfather. Despite Amaji's suggestion to upgrade, Yasushi insists on the relic, setting the stage for Liam's first combat test against a simulator. The episode explores Liam's efforts to master the knight, revealing Yasushi's questionable credentials as a fraud. Meanwhile, political tensions simmer as nobles question Liam's reforms, and a mysterious figure, the guide voiced by Takahito Koyasu, observes with cryptic intent. Liam's victory in the simulation solidifies his reputation, though his evil intentions continue to backfire into heroic outcomes. The plot advances by placing Liam in the cockpit, marking his transition from administrative reforms to physical action. The episode introduces his training arc, a staple of shonen-inspired isekai, and hints at Yasushi's potential exposure as a con artist, which could disrupt Liam's progress. No major revelations occur, but the guide's ominous presence and the noble's discontent raise new questions about external threats to Liam's rule. I think the episode fulfills its role as a bridge, setting up Liam's growth as a pilot while teasing larger conflicts, though it resolves little from prior episodes like the Banfield financial crisis. The pacing feels rushed, cramming Liam's training, combat, and political asides into 24 minutes. The simulation battle, while brief, eats up significant time, leaving Yasushi's deception underexplored. I didn't like how the episode glossed over Liam's learning curve. He masters the knight too quickly, undermining the stakes. A slower build could have heightened the tension, but the brisk tempo keeps things engaging for fans of action-driven narratives. Liam, Natsuki Haney, remains the central figure, his earnest villainy clashing hilariously with his knack for heroism. This episode reveals his stubborn pride as he embraces the outdated knight despite its flaws, reflecting his desire to prove himself. His dialogue, laced with grandiose boasts, feels consistent with his deluded ambition, but I'm against the lack of deeper introspection. Liam's past life trauma, briefly mentioned in episode 1, could have added nuance to his recklessness. Yasushi, a new addition, is a comedic wildcard, his shifty demeanor and exaggerated confidence hinting at a complex motives. Amaji, Reina Ueda, the AI maid, serves as Liam's voice of reason, though her role feels underutilized. The guide's brief appearance adds intrigue, but his cryptic monologues reveal little. I really appreciate Liam's unwavering commitment to his evil persona, but the supporting cast needs more focus to match his energy. Growth is minimal, Liam's combat skills improve, but his worldview remains unchanged, which I found slightly repetitive. The episode reinforces the series' core theme of irony, as Liam's attempts at tyranny, training to dominate through combat, only enhance his heroic image. It also touches on power and deception, with Yasushi's fraud mirroring the corrupt nobles Liam seeks to outmaneuver. These ideas are conveyed through Liam's triumphant simulation victory, juxtaposed with Noble's whispers of rebellion and Yasushi's nervous glances, which hint at his precarious position. I think the theme of unintended consequences shines, though the execution feels surface level, leaning on humor over depth. The episode could have dug into Liam's moral ambiguity, but it prioritizes laughs, which may satisfy fans but left me wanting more substance. The episode expands the world by detailing mobile knights as relics of an older era, contrasting with the Empire's advanced tech like mithril and adamantium. The Banfield domain's aging war machines, mentioned by Amaji, underscore its financial strain, grounding the sci-fi setting in economic realism. The noble's political maneuvering introduces a layer of courtly intrigue, suggesting a stratified empire rife with corruption. I also anticipate that the guide's role ties into the series' cosmic stakes, perhaps linked to the malicious being orchestrating Liam's reincarnation. These elements enrich the setting, though I personally don't understand the vague references to materials like mithril. More context would help newcomers. The dialogue is snappy and comedic, with Liam's over-the-top declarations, "I'll crush all who oppose me," driving the humor. Yasushi's evasive banter and Amaji's dry retorts add variety, but the political asides feel expository, dumped awkwardly into noble conversations. I didn't like how the writing relies on genre cliches like the fraudulent mentor trope without subverting supporting them. The script is serviceable, leaning heavily on the source material's wit but lacks the sharpness of top-tier isekai like Mushoku Tensei. It informs the plot effectively but rarely surprises, which I found disappointing for a series with such a unique premise. Quad's animation is functional but underwhelming. The Mobile Knight simulation, with its clunky CG mecha, lacks the fluidity of Mobile Suit Gundam's battles, feeling stiff and dated. Tetsuya Yanagisawa's direction uses tight cockpit shots and quick cuts to convey the battle's intensity, but the simulator's flat staging limits impact. The soundtrack, led by Yusu Kursio and Shun Narita, is forgettable, with generic action beats underscoring the battle. Natsuki Haney shines as Liam, his bombastic delivery perfectly capturing the character's delusional grandeur, especially in lines like, "This is the power of a true villain." Reina Ueda's calm, measured Amagi contrasts well, grounding the absurdity. The episode evokes amusement through Liam's ironic heroism and mild excitement in the battle, but it lacks deeper resonance. The most memorable moment is Liam's triumphant smirk post-victory, a perfect encapsulation of his misguided pride. Yasushi's nervous fidgeting, hinting at his inevitable exposure, adds a layer of anticipation. I don't think the episode leaves a lasting impression. Its humor lands, but the stakes feel low and it doesn't prompt much reflection beyond chuckling at Liam's failures. I personally don't understand why the series shies away from exploring Liam's past life more, as it could add emotional heft. Episode 4 of I'm the Evil Lord of an Intergalactic Empire is a fun, if flawed, addition to the series, excelling in comedic irony and Liam's larger-than-life presence but faltering in pacing, animation, and depth. Its strengths lie in Haney's stellar performance, the clever thematic irony, and subtle world-building touches. However, the rushed narrative, lackluster visuals, and reliance on tropes hold it back. I think it achieves its goal of entertaining but falls short of maximizing its premise's potential. Overall, it's a solid episode that keeps the series' quirky charm intact, but I didn't like the missed opportunities to deepen Liam's character or polish the action. Looking ahead, I hope the series slows down to explore its supporting cast and raises the stakes, as Liam's galactic misadventure has the potential to be more than a one-note comedy.